after a year of quarantine, hubs, and playing in empty stadiums, how excited are you and the men in blue to get to play in front of big crowds and undoubtedly thousands of passionate Indian fans?
Playing in front of crowds, it's been something that has been missing since we came back to action. But we also understand that we came back to action after a very difficult period, and things obviously are still getting better as we speak. And the situation in Australia is at a place where we are able to play in front of the crowds again, which is, I think, a big boost for all the players, and something that I certainly have enjoyed a lot over the years. Playing without crowds was a different experience, and you get back to professionalism and what you know when you step onto the field. But I think playing in front of the crowd is something that cannot be replicated otherwise, and something that, as sports people, all of us really look forward to. So yeah, we are very, very excited to get back into a stadium full of noise and full of fans.
What's the most enjoyable aspect of playing cricket in Australia and in any format of cricket here?
Well, playing cricket in Australia is one that comes with its own challenges. I think it's it can be a very intimidating place if you're not ready to take on a challenge mentally and with your skill as well. So it's a place that I've loved coming to over the years. The one thing about Australia is that they play hard cricket, and in every sport they're very tough. The crowd can be very tough on players traveling, and rightly so. I mean, everyone has a choice to have a home advantage, and Australia really exercises and executes that really, really well. But if you perform well in Australia, you gain a lot of respect from the local public and from the fans watching as well, which, as a sportsman, it's a thing that I certainly am a big fan of, because it's like a test. It's like you kind of going through a hard test, and then there's appreciation and there's acknowledgement at the end of it. And then over a period of time, you obviously understand that people here are very nice. People here are very welcoming as well. And if you have the right mindset, then they'll make sure that they do everything to try and get you as an individual and as a team. But if you overcome that, then there's nothing but respect, which has been a beautiful part of coming to Australia over the years, and something that all of us now have started to enjoy a lot. And it's a beautiful country to play in. The weather's great. The stadiums are amazing. And yeah, it's always a really nice tour full of very, very tough challenges.
Is it fair to say that every tour you made to Australia since the first one in 2011-12 has sort of coincided with the different stages of your evolution as a person and a cricketer? And in that sense, how do you look at the Virat Kohli of 2020?
Yeah, it's a very, very good question. Yeah, I've come here through different stages of my career and my life. Starting with 2012, I think it was my opportunity and a start to my international career as a test player, and something that I really fondly remember even now. And I was a youngster with a lot of hope and a lot of faith, playing for the country, to play for a long time. Then the second time I came around was a difficult situation, because I'd come out of that 2014 tour of England, and Australia was again a daunting tour, full of quality players and coming up against a very strong team. And that tour revealed a lot about myself as a person and about my game to me, and took my confidence to the next level. And then coming back in 2018, we came for 2016, the white ball series as well. But that was a short trip. But then again, a full tour in 2018, which obviously was very memorable for all of us. Winning for the first time in Australia a test series, winning the ODI series, and drawing the T20 series was also very special, because as a captain and as a team, we were able to achieve our goals, what we wanted to, in a very difficult place. And now coming to 2020, I think now it's about just fulfilling my responsibility on the field. I really take a lot of pride in playing cricket for my country, and I have over the years as well. And this is just a continuation of the same mindset. I don't come to any place anymore to prove anything to anyone. It's basically about what can I do to make sure, as a captain and as a leader, I take the team forward in the right direction, and keep setting the right examples as an individual as well whenever I can. and that's always my goal. Growth is the only focus, whether it's on the field or off the field, and that'll continue to be the template for me going forward. But it's been amazing. It's been a full roller coaster of a journey till now, coming to Australia, and something that I've really enjoyed, and looking forward to it this time as well.
It's a short series, but will it be used as an opportunity to test young blood like Shubman Gill?
Yes, we have definitely discussed those things. We are looking at giving opportunities to the younger players. There are a lot of young guys in the squad who are really eager and really waiting to get out onto the park and play in a place like Australia. It's a great opportunity for them, like I mentioned briefly just now, to realize something new about their own games, and how they can take their game to the next level, and grow that confidence, and keep helping the team go forward. So from that point of view, yes, it's a very important series for them as individuals to grow, and for us as the management group and the captain to give them those opportunities to be able to go out there and play to the best of their abilities and play freely and really enjoy their cricket. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to seeing these guys on the field, and how they shape up, because they're a bunch of very talented guys.
Will Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami's white ball workload be managed during the current series, considering they have a bigger role in test matches?
Of course, yes, it's a no-brainer. They've gone through a full IPL season as well. Both of them have bowled beautifully, are bowling in great rhythm. So it'll be very important to monitor the workloads, and hence the point about some of the younger guys getting a chance comes into play as well. You want to see how people react in different situations, because you're up against a different situation every time you come for a India tour. You have to manage workloads. You have to look forward to the youngsters performing on the field. So there's a fine balance that you need to maintain, and something that we've been able to do very well in the last few years, and that's why our bowlers have been fit and available for the important matches most of the times for us, and something that's a very important factor for us going forward, and for me as a captain to know as well where the bowlers stand in terms of workloads and how their bodies are feeling. So yeah, that's going to be a crucial factor, definitely.
What kind of advantage will you draw having shared the IPL dressing room with Aaron Finch? What are the top weaknesses in his arsenal you've marked?
Well, look, it's players go through different phases at different times. Finch is a quality player, we all know that, and hence he was included in the RCB squad. And he continues to perform at the international level. Having said that, we played a lot against him even in the past as well. So there's nothing, there's not a drastic revelation that happens when you play with someone for 2 months. You've played against these guys for 6-7 years before that as well, and you know their strength and weaknesses because you see them play day in day out, if not against you but against other teams as well. So similarly for them, like someone like Zampa has seen me bat in the nets, so that doesn't mean that they have an extra advantage. It's basically playing together in one tournament and then going and representing our countries, which we have been doing for so many years and playing against each other. So I don't think it does anything different in terms of figuring out strengths and weaknesses. We already have worked on those things a lot, and we played against each other a lot even before we played together in the IPL.
How important is it for India to start well in the white ball series to give your side some momentum and perhaps open up some mental scars on the Australian heading into the test series, particularly as you are heading home?
Look, I don't think that there's any extra desperation or need to think on those lines for us as a team at all, because we have to understand the last time that we were successful here was because of a reason, and we are focusing on our process, and we are really strong in our mind to be able to win difficult situations and be at our best in those difficult situations, and that doesn't change. I mean, look, Australia is going to try and come at us really hard, and we expect that, and we are ready for that. We are ready for some tough cricket on the field, and something that we're looking forward to as a side. But I don't think we are attaching any more incentives or reason to motivate ourselves just because it's an opportunity to set a tone before the test series. Every series is different, And the importance of starting well is purely because you have come to foreign conditions and you want to get confident as a team really quickly so that you can carry it forward to the other formats. And that's something that we're really looking forward to as a side, to start strong and to do the things that we want to do as a side and make sure that, we are all feeling good mentally, and we are executing the things that we want to before we start any series, whether it's the ODI, or T20 or the Test series.
A lot of media from both India and Australia, a lot of journalists have asked about your availability till the first test on this tour. So if you could explain your decision.
Well, the decision was made before we had the selection meeting, and I explained the same to the selectors that I'd be flying back before after the first test, and that was purely based on the fact that we have a quarantine period both ways. And I had explained the same to the selectors during our selection meeting. I wanted to be back home in time to be with my wife for the birth of our first child, and it's a very, very special and a very, very beautiful moment in our lives, and something that I truly want to experience. So that was the reason behind my decision, which was communicated to the selectors during the selection meeting.
Despite hamstring injury, traveled with team and is doing his rehab in Australia. If Ishant Sharma and Rohit Sharma had also traveled with the team, would that not have increased their chances of playing the test matches?
Yeah, they definitely would have increased the chances of both of them playing test matches. Someone like Saha, who also had an injury during the IPL, is here and doing his rehab with the team. So we are aware of his progress, and he's on the right path to make sure that he's fit and available in time to play the test series. And same would have been the case with Ishant and Rohit as well. It would have given them a chance to get themselves fit and be available for the start of the test series. And right now there's so much uncertainty on whether they're going to be able to make it, if they're going to be able to make it at all or not. And it definitely would have been very helpful in them getting fit if they were here and doing the rehab, just like Saha is with the team to get fit for the test series.
Being the leader of the side, how do you view the entire matter concerning Rohit Sharma?
Well, before we had the selection meeting in Dubai, we got a mail 2 days before that, which said that he's unavailable for selection. He's picked up injury during the IPL. And it mentioned that there's a 2-week rest and rehab period. And it said that the pros and cons and the implications of the injury have been explained to him, and he understood that. And he was unavailable for selection. And that was the information we got on mail before the selection meeting. And after that, he played in the IPL, so we all thought that he's going to be on that flight to Australia, and which he wasn't. And we had no information whatsoever on the reason why he's not traveling with us. And after that, the only other information officially we have received on mail is that he's in the NC and he's been assessed, and that he'll be further assessed on 11 December. So from the time that the selection meeting happened to the IPL finishing, and now when this email came about his assessment at the NCA, there's been no information. There's been lack of clarity, and we've been playing the waiting game on this issue for a while now, which is not ideal at all. So yeah, it's been very confusing, and there's been a lot of uncertainty and lack of clarity around the situation.
Do you find the percentage points system devised by the ICC, where India, despite highest points, are now in the second place, a bit warped?
It's definitely surprising, because we were told that points are the point of the matter of contention for the top 2 teams qualifying in the World Test Championship, and now suddenly it's become percentage out of nowhere. So it's very confusing. It's very difficult to understand why. And if these things were explained to us from day one, then it would have been easier for us to understand the reasons why such a change has happened. But it's happened out of nowhere, and I think the further questions about this should be asked to the ICC and understand why this has been done and what are the reasons behind it.
What memories come to your mind when you think about Maradona?
It's a sad day. It's a sad day for sport. It's obviously a very sad day for football, but it's a very sad day for sport in general because we've lost a genius. We've lost someone who has inspired people across generations and across walks of life, not just sport, across many sports and so many people in their lives as well. People are mesmerized watching him play, and that's something that only happens to a very few. And he was one of them, a pure genius with what he did, and um, it's a void that can't be filled, as some of the football greats have already said. And I totally agree with that. And I watched his documentary last year when we were there for the World Cup, and it was amazing to see the aura and the persona around him, and the stuff that he went through. And just the pure genius of what he did was so mesmerizing, and something that will dearly be remembered, and he'll be missed by everyone in the sport fraternity, I'm sure, and definitely the football fraternity as well.
जब हम न्यूजीलैंड टूर पे गए थे तो हमने प्रैक्टिस मैच के बिना ही पहली मैच खेली थी, पर ये समय कोरोना के समय में इंडियन टीम ऑस्ट्रेलिया में थोड़ी जल्दी आई है। 14 दिनों की क्वारंटीन कंप्लीट करी है और उस 14 दिनों के दौरान वो प्रैक्टिस कर पाई है। तो क्या आप ये एक ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज मानोगे कि बिकॉज ऑफ कोरोना अभी टीम थोड़ी जल्दी आई है और उनको ज्यादा टाइम मिला है यहाँ की कंडीशंस को समझने में और प्रैक्टिस करने में?
हाँ, जरूर। ये ऑब्वियसली एक एडवांटेज की बात तो रहेगी, क्योंकि आपके पास ज़्यादा समय है, आप ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस कर पा रहे हैं, आप ज़्यादा प्रिपरेशन कर पा रहे हैं, आपके पास प्रैक्टिस गेम्स भी हैं खेलने के लिए। तो काफ़ी मदद होती है इन सब फैक्टर्स से। काफ़ी अंडररेटेड चीज़ है एक, लेकिन बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है एक जगह पे आके कंडीशन से यूज टू होना, पिचेस से यूज टू होना, और जस्ट जनरली एक जगह पे आके कंफर्टेबल फील करना कि आपको लगे कि हाँ, आप यहाँ पे बहुत दिन से हैं और अब क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं। वो एक टूर का पार्ट है, ना कि समथिंग जो आपको सरप्राइज कर दे एकदम से आते ही इतना इंटेंस क्रिकेट फील्ड पे शुरू कर देना। तो जो प्रैक्टिस टाइम हमें मिला है उससे काफ़ी हमें फ़ायदा होगा प्रिपेयर करने में, ताकि हम पहले मैच से पहले अपने बेस्ट माइंडसेट में आ सके, अपने बेस्ट, जैसे मैंने बोला, फिजिकल स्किल वाइज, फिजिकल फिटनेस और मेंटालिटी को लेके जो प्रिपरेशन है वो ओवरऑल हमारी जो राउंडेड प्रिपरेशन है वो पूरी हो सके, और ये हमें एक चांस देगा अपना बेस्ट क्रिकेट खेलने के लिए इस टूर पे।
Yes, thank you, Captain. We've come to the end of the press conference. Thank you very much for your time.
थैंक यू वेरी मच।